Australia was not blessed by the visit of Swami Vivekananda or any of the other direct disciples of Sri Ramakrishna. However, it hosted a few disciples of the direct disciples of Sri Ramakrishna. In 1897, an Australian lady, Mrs. Elsie Pickett, with a Sanskrit name Haridasi of Adelaide, was a student of Swami Shivananda in Sri Lanka. Trained to teach Vedanta to Westerners, she returned to Australia and conducted classes and lectures in Australia and New Zealand. In 1908, a Swedish lady known as Sister Avabamia, who was a disciple of Swami Abhedananda, came to Australia and New Zealand, and through her talks and classes on Vedanta was able to create some interest. She also started a Vedanta magazine, Star of the East. However, after 3 years, she left for India and the classes and the magazine eventually ceased. James Vale was an Australian war veteran. On his return after the First World War, he was leading a very dissolute lifestyle, drinking heavily. One day on the way to buy alcohol, he had a profound experience in which he had the vision of an Indian face and heard the word Vivekananda inwardly. He immediately gave up drinking and smoking and started on a search to identify the face he saw. In a bookshop in Sydney, he found a copy of the Raja Yoga by Swami Vivekananda. After some correspondence with the publishers, he went to India in 1927. He received initiation from Swami Shivananda and joined as a probationer at Belur Mutt, assuming the name Brahmachari Vivek Chaitanya. However, his health broke down under the harsh conditions of life in India and he had to return to Australia. Back in Australia, he continued to live like a monastic. He devoted himself to the service of the sick and elderly and gave classes and talks on Vedanta till he passed away in 1951. Swami Ranganathananda, a senior monk, later president of the Ramakrishna Mutt, first visited Australia in
1968
during an international lecture tour. That was a very brief visit. He returned in 1971 for a period of 6 weeks and gave talks and public lectures. He visited the main cities like Sydney, Perth, Canberra and Adelaide. While he was in Perth, some of those keen on Vedanta formed the Ramakrishna Vedanta Society. The Swami returned in 1974 and conducted a series of lectures on the Bhagavad Gita in Sydney. By this time, there was a solid group of people who were attracted to the rational, practical and universal philosophy of Vedanta. They formed the Ramakrishna Vedanta Society of New South Wales. From 1974 to 86, Swami Ranganathananda made almost annual visits and conducted retreats and classes and gave public lectures. These gave a firm foundation for the Ramakrishna Vedanta Society of New South Wales.